This is YouTube News. Mueller report recounts 10 episodes involving Trump and questions of obstruction. The Justice Department considered President Donald Trump's frustrations about media and political speculation about the Russia investigation when deciding whether to charge him with obstructing the probe, Attorney General William Barr said Thursday. Special counsel Robert Mueller's report on his Russia investigation recounts 10 episodes involving Trump and questions of obstruction of justice, Barr said. After reviewing the information gathered by Mueller, the top Justice Department official and Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein concluded there was insufficient evidence to charge the president with obstructing the probe into Russian efforts to influence the 2016 election. The special counsel himself did not weigh in on obstruction and noted that the report does not exonerate Trump, Barr previously said in a summary of the report. A redacted version of the approximately 400-page document is expected to be released after Barr's remarks. During his roughly 20-minute remarks Thursday before the report's public release, the Attorney General stressed that Mueller found no evidence that Americans, including the president or anyone associated with his campaign, conspired or coordinated with Russia. He noted that, as the president said from the beginning, there was in fact no collusion with Moscow's attempts to interfere in the election. Barr's press conference will only fuel more concerns about his independence. Congressional Democrats have questioned why the Attorney General decided not to charge Trump, especially because of a memo he wrote criticizing the Mueller investigation before the president chose him to lead the Justice Department. Barr told reporters Thursday he felt the Justice Department had to decide whether Trump's conduct was criminal because Mueller did not. In outlining the department's decision not to charge Trump with trying to derail the probe, the Attorney General said officials considered not only whether the acts were obstructive, but also the president's motives behind his actions. Barr said the DOJ considered the unprecedented situation Trump faced entering office, and what he called substantial evidence in Mueller's report to show that the president was frustrated and angered by a sincere belief that the probe undermined his presidency. He added, nonetheless, the White House fully cooperated with the special counsel's investigation, providing unfettered access to campaign and White House documents, directing senior aides to testify freely, and asserting no privilege claims. And at the same time, the president took no act that in fact deprived the special counsel of the documents and witnesses necessary to complete his investigation. Apart from whether the acts were obstructive, this evidence of non-corrupt motives weighs heavily against any allegation that the president had a corrupt intent to obstruct the investigation. It is unclear exactly which episodes related to obstruction questions that Mueller outlines in the report. The release of the redacted document could cast more light on which events the special counsel probed. Trump's lawyers saw the final version of the redacted report earlier this week, but did not request to redact anything from it, Barr said. Several members of the president's legal team went to the Justice Department on Tuesday and Wednesday to view the document, NBC News reported. Barr noted that he and Rosenstein disagreed with some of the special counsel's legal theories and felt that some of the episodes examined did not amount to obstruction as a matter of law. It is unclear which theories the two officials disputed. Asked Thursday about the potential for accusations of political motives, the Attorney General pointed to Mueller's report itself. Actually, the statements about his sincere beliefs are recognized in the report that there was substantial evidence for that. I'm not sure what your basis is for saying I'm being generous to the president, the Attorney General said. Read Barr's full remarks on the probe, as prepared for delivery Thursday. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. On March 22, 2019, Special Counsel Robert Mueller concluded his investigation of matters related to Russian attempts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election and submitted his confidential report to me pursuant to Department of Justice regulations. As I said during my Senate confirmation hearing and since, I am committed to ensuring the greatest possible degree of transparency concerning the special counsel's investigation, consistent with the law. At 11 o'clock this morning, I will transmit copies of a public version of the special counsel's report to the chairman and ranking members of the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. The Department of Justice will also make the report available to the American public by posting it on the department's website after it has been delivered to Congress. I would like to offer a few comments today on the report. But before I do that, I want to thank Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein for joining me here today, and for his assistance and counsel throughout this process. Rod has served the Department of Justice for many years with dedication and distinction, and it has been a great privilege and pleasure to work with him since my confirmation. He had well-deserved plans to step back from public service that I interrupted by asking him to help in my transition. Rod has been an invaluable partner, and I am grateful that he was willing to help me, and has been able to see the special counsel's investigation to its conclusion. Thank you, Rod. I would also like to thank Special Counsel Mueller for his service and the thoroughness of his investigation, particularly his work exposing the nature of Russia's attempts to interfere in our electoral process. As you know, one of the primary purposes of the special counsel's investigation was to determine whether members of the presidential campaign of Donald J. Trump, or any individuals associated with that campaign, conspired or coordinated with the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 election. Volume I of the special counsel's report describes the results of that investigation. As you will see, the special counsel's report states that his investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities. I am sure that all Americans share my concerns about the efforts of the Russian government to interfere in our presidential election. As the special counsel's report makes clear, the Russian government sought to interfere in our election. But thanks to the special counsel's thorough investigation, we now know that the Russian operatives who perpetrated these schemes did not have the cooperation of President Trump, or the Trump campaign, or the knowing assistance of any other Americans for that matter. That is something that all Americans can and should be grateful to have confirmed. The special counsel's report outlines two main efforts by the Russian government to influence the 2016 election. First, the report details efforts by the Internet Research Agency, a Russian company with close ties to the Russian government, to sow social discord among American voters through disinformation and social media operations. Following a thorough investigation of this disinformation campaign, the special counsel brought charges in federal court against several Russian nationals and entities for their respective roles in this scheme. Those charges remain pending, and the individual defendants remain at large. But the special counsel found no evidence that any Americans, including anyone associated with the Trump campaign, conspired or coordinated with the Russian government or the IRA in carrying out this illegal scheme. Indeed, as the report states, the investigation did not identify evidence that any U.S. persons knowingly or intentionally coordinated with the IRA's interference operation. Put another way, the special counsel found no collusion by any Americans in the IRA's illegal activity. Second, the report details efforts by Russian military officials associated with the GRU to hack into computers and steal documents, emails from individuals affiliated with the Democratic Party and the presidential campaign of Hillary Rodham Clinton for the purpose of eventually publicizing those emails. Obtaining such unauthorized access into computers is a federal crime. Following a thorough investigation of these hacking operations, the special counsel brought charges in federal court against several Russian military officers for their respective roles in these illegal hacking activities. Those charges are still pending and the defendants remain at large. But again, the special counsel's report did not find any evidence that members of the Trump campaign or anyone associated with the campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its hacking operations. In other words, there was no evidence of Trump campaign collusion with the Russian government's hacking. The special counsel's investigation also examined Russian efforts to publish stolen emails and documents on the Internet. The special counsel found that, after the GRU disseminated some of the stolen materials through its own controlled entities, DC Leaks and Guccifer 2.0, the GRU transferred some of the stolen materials to WikiLeaks for publication. WikiLeaks then made a series of document dumps. The special counsel also investigated whether any member or affiliate of the Trump campaign encouraged or otherwise played a role in these dissemination efforts. Under applicable law, publication of these types of materials would not be criminal unless the publisher also participated in the underlying hacking conspiracy. Here too, the special counsel's report did not find that any person associated with the Trump campaign illegally participated in the December YouTube news.